Hey, angels, rise and shine.
Good morning. You want some breakfast?
You ready to go and face this day head on?
Let's go do the thing.
Let's do it.
It's the Phantom Family Podcast.
Hello, friends. I am Tori Phantom here with my husband, Jimothy.
I'm Jimothy.
He is Jimothy, and we are talking to you on the Phantom Family Podcast.
It's the Phantom Family Podcast.
That's a podcast.
By us, the Phantom Family.
Phantom.
In your ears.
You're listening. That's
What if they're not listening? What if they're talking over us? Hey, listen.
Listen. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me.
Ooh, that's a good one. I
Yeah,
feel
you said
very
a lot.
threatened. I turned
know.
around to look at you just then.
Are
You weren't
your-
even talking to me.
Are your listening ears turned on?
No.
I want to make an announcement to everyone listening to us right now because I can't stop thinking about this, and I just want everyone to know that there's a pumpkin sticker on your back.
Why are you telling people this?
Because the way that we record this it's a very weird setup we have here because, you do what you got to do, right? But so I actually, when we record this, I am looking at Jim's back and there is a very sparkly jack-o'-lantern sticker on your back. And that's what I'm going to be looking at this whole episode, just so everyone knows.
Thank you. This is engaging, riveting podcast material. Talking about a sticker.
It came from one of the kids, so it's family related.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, it was on the couch somewhere, I'm sure.
I'm sure there's stickers everywhere.
There are stickers everywhere, all over everything.
But
in
what's
this
funny
house.
about it is the kids love sticking stickers on things, but they get real mad when I put googly eyes on their baby pictures.
Yeah, it's really weird.
It's weird because they put stickers all over my stuff, but I put googly eyes on the pictures of them, and
which is hilarious.
It's so funny, and they're like, "Why did you do that?" And I'm like, "I'm laughing. That's why it's funny."
I was telling someone at the radio recently how you did that on the pictures of the two older girls that's in the hallway over there. Mm-hmm. And I forget about it all the time, and I'll catch myself going to the bathroom and I'll see the googly eyes and I'll just giggle as I walk down the hall.
That's the whole reason I did it. I highly recommend if you are a parent, you don't need to do it to every picture in your house. Just pick one picture of your kids you have hung up and you're going to put it on the glass on the frame. You don't want to ruin the picture you paid for. But you're just going to take some googly eyes. You're going to glue them to the glass, okay? Because what's going to happen is you're busy and you don't often think about the pictures on your walls. So it's just going to slip your mind, right? You did it, but you're going to forget. And every now and then, that picture is going to catch your eyes and you're going to see those googly eyes and it's going to give you a laugh just when you need it. And I have it on one picture in our house, and every time that I notice it, I laugh. And it's good for my mental health. So googly eyes your babies. Not in person, though. They probably wouldn't like that. But the pictures of them, absolutely, there's no rule saying you can't do that.
Although we did put the big googly eyes on the middle one. I don't remember what the nickname you've given her at this time
Squirrely
is.
girl.
Sure.
Yeah.
On old SG, you put the googly eyes on her.
I
and
didn't
that
put
made
them
me
on her.
laugh.
She thought that was funny. So we did that together. That was a joint effort. She
yeah,
had the big googly eyes and she squeezed her little eyeballs around them. And then she had googly eyes and we took pictures and videos and laughed a lot.
It was hilarious.
It was so funny.
You know what else
just invest in googly eyes.
You know what else is fun to put those on?
What?
Inanimate objects in the house, too. Put the googly eyes on your toaster.
Yes, I've done that, too. Every now and then, I just get a little googly.
Great googly moogly.
I know, silly googly mood.
But seriously, you're just in a silly googly mood. Seriously, buy googly eyes. Put them on random things in your house. Put them by the electrical sockets. Make everything just look surprised.
Actually, I'm going to say don't do it near the electrical sockets because if you have kids, young kids, probably don't do that because you don't want to attract your kids to electrical sockets.
Okay, fine. You know what?
That's the one. With our 9-year-old, she wouldn't touch the outlet. She would laugh at that, but with the 3-year-old, she would be more interested in the outlet, right?
True.
She just mainly ignores them because she's 3. But if I put googly eyes on the outlet, she would want to touch it. So I don't put googly eyes on your outlet. There's an age limit there. I don't know what it is. But be safe with your googly eyes. Yeah, we're going to be careful with the googly eyes. This episode is about googly eye safety.
This is a googly eye safety podcast. We are abandoning parenting. We're only going to be speaking in it's OSHA adjacent. It's not really related to OSHA. It's a different department.
It's parenting related. I don't know that many. I mean, honestly, I don't want to say that because I don't know a lot of people who aren't parents. So maybe non-parents also have a lot of googly eyes. Like, who am I to make that assumption?
They might.
They might.
There are probably people out there with just an overabundance of googly eyes.
If you have a whole bunch of googly eyes in your house like I do, please DM me on Instagram, Tori.Phantom, and let me know where you put yours, because I know I'm not the only one who does this, but I just need to take a poll. Like, if you put googly eyes all over all the things, just tell me about that, okay?
No, even better. Make a video on TikTok, tag us on there.
Yeah, that too. Whatever feels best for you, honestly. Because some people don't like to make videos. That's cool.
Some people don't. Some people don't like to read books. Some people like to listen to books being read to them.
That is true. And did you know that there's like a whole service, like, and we have a link that can help them get a month of that for free?
Yeah, they can hear these books read audibly to them through Amazon's Audible.
Yep.
See what I did there?
I do. That was great.
You picking up what I'm throwing down?
Very smooth. And what is that link, Jimothy?
Well, if you go to audibletrial.com/phantom, you can get a free month of Amazon's Audible service. It's normally $14.95, but if you're a brand new subscriber, never signed up for it before, you can get a free month using our code. That's going to give you a free book, so you'll get a credit for any book in all of Audible. And even if you let your subscription lapse or you cancel it, that book is yours forever. Every book you pay for with your subscription and you get your credits for every month, you get to keep that book in your Audible account forever.
You do get a free credit for a book every single month that you are a member.
Well, you do. I mean, you pay for it, so you get a credit toward it. It's weird calling it free. I don't want people to think like, oh, I get this free.
Right.
No.
You're right. You pay for the subscription, but you get a credit for a book with your monthly subscription.
You do get a credit. It's $14.95. You get a credit for one download every month, but you do get an extra free credit on top of that, so you get 2 book credits if you're a Prime member.
Fancy.
So you do get all that.
Highly recommend.
Check that out. That is at www.audibletrial.com/phantom for your free month of Audible. All right. So, Tori.
Yeah.
Do you remember how we met?
Can you refresh my memory?
Let me remind you. I can't believe you've forgotten.
I know.
We were working at that factory making guitars, and I decided that I wanted to be a little trickster, and I took one of the guitars, and instead of making it like a guitar wood top, I took the top and I made it like a drum, so that instead of playing the guitar with a pick, you had to hit it with a drumstick and hold the strings down, and I created what I called a drum tar. It didn't take off, and I actually ended up getting fired from the job. And you felt so bad about me being fired because you laughed the whole time that I told you about my idea for the drum tar that you quit. And then you joined me in solidarity, and we said, you know what? This is love. And we ran away, and we got married literally that year.
Is that true?
Of course it is. Of
really?
course. Oh, yeah.
Are you sure?
You don't remember?
Are you?
You were there.
Are you lying to me?
What?
Are you lying?
I'm...
Liar! That's not how we met. Anyway, this week we're talking about lying.
We're talking about lying, friends.
Liar, pants on fire.
If your pants are on fire, please stop, drop, and roll.
Yes.
Stop lying, drop to your knees, and roll away, you filthy liar.
If you're a liar, pants on fire, you should actually lie down and start rolling. So
yes, you should lie more.
You should become a liar, like lying on the ground. Anyway, how did your family handle it when you lied as a child and or teenager, adolescent human?
I was constantly truthful. What was that guffaw?
I don't believe that at all.
Okay, so here's the thing. I remember very distinctively when being a young child. I think I've talked to you before about the teacher who used to like slap me in the face and stuff.
Yes, this is the weekly trauma dump, friends.
Yes,
Buckle
it is
in.
The trauma dump.
Trauma dump.
So there was my principal. And I would get in trouble a lot because that teacher would always send me over there, and we were right across the hall from the principal's office, so she would send me there constantly. And sometimes I would do stuff, but I didn't want to get in trouble for it, so I would just lie and say I didn't do it, obviously, as children do. And he would tell me, he's like, JK, I know when you're lying because your eyebrows go up, because like I would always get this voice like this, and my eyebrows would go up very high, like. And I remember thinking about that. That's like a conscious tell that I feel like I have to this day.
Yes.
But I don't feel like I use it when I'm lying. I feel like that's my I'm very frustrated. I'm very emotionally heightened. That's more of what it was.
Honestly, you're a great liar, but I don't think you lie much as you're a storyteller. There's a difference.
I do be telling stories.
Because you do that to me all the time because you are the trivia master of the world. And so Jim has this fun habit where he will be like, hey, did you know this really weird, outlandish thing?
No, I don't do it I don't just come up with things. I'll just look at the top of a coffee can or something. I'm like, oh, do you know they used to make those out of wood, but then they found that the plastic snapped on there better, even though the old wood ones had a plastic thing on there? You're like, really?
It is some random trivia fact in his delivery. It always sounds like it could be true because there's so much random, wild trivia he knows that I have no reason to think it's not true.
Yep.
And then I go, really? And he goes, no.
Well, the other day, I told you something absolutely true, and you're like, and you just immediately didn't believe me. You were calling me out like, no, that's not right. That's not real. That's not real. And you were telling
because
Pumpkin
I'm so
Pie,
used
you're like,
to
no, Jimmy's lying. Because
I'm so used to it.
I told you the story of why they have the mystery flavored Dum-Dums.
I did. I thought it wasn't true.
No, it's absolutely true.
It sounded like a dad story. You know what I mean? Like a dad tells you some random thing, and you're like, yeah, it sounds right.
That was a real story. It's not like oh, you know why they have the high heel shoes? It's because they had too much of the shoe and they couldn't throw it away, so they just sanded it all off and leveled it down, and that's where you get the shoe from. No, that's just me making some stuff up to tell the kids.
But it's hard to tell because you're good at storytelling. But anyway, so this principal said that your eyebrows do be raising.
Yes, and I was always accused of lying, and I probably was in those situations because I didn't want to get in trouble. But I didn't really get in trouble and have to lie about things when I was a kid with my family or anything. I was a good kid. I didn't have the need to lie.
Yeah.
What about you, delinquent? What did you do?
I wasn't a delinquent.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't. I just my parents sucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my parents kind of had this way of not trusting us at all for any reason ever. It was very much projection of the crap they did growing up, and they were like, obviously our kids suck too because we're raising them.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess me and my brother suck in some ways, but we're good people at least. Despite them.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. What?
Continuing.
Anyway, so my parents, they just didn't trust it at all. So much so that even if we were being honest, that they were like, no, we don't believe you. And so it came to this point where it was there was no point in telling the truth because sometimes the truth would still get us in trouble because they didn't believe it.
The truth will get you beat.
Right, and that was a big one, was if you tell the truth, you won't be in trouble, to get us to tell the truth. And then we would tell the truth and then they would hurt us. That you were the liar this time.
You lied to me. You said
I wouldn't get in trouble, and then you hit me.
That's the classic smacking the kid we don't hit in this family.
Right.
As they beat the kid.
It's a hit the kid to teach him not to hit.
Do we hit in this family as you're being smacked and you're
right.
Yes.
Apparently, that's what you're teaching me right in this moment.
I think so.
But yeah, so I mean, we were punished no matter what. And if we were ever caught in a lie, it was you have no trust ever. And it could be the smallest lie, did you eat the last cheese stick? And you would lie because in our family we weren't allowed to eat. That's a whole other bucket load of trauma we don't need to get into. But if someone said, did you eat that? You'd lie, And if you got caught with the wrapper near your bedroom, you were in big trouble. It's all of your trust is gone.
Oh, I'm remembering
over a cheese stick.
I'm remembering a lie that I told now when I was in maybe 6th grade. We used to get issues of Country Weekly magazine, the CMT magazine. And there was an issue that had LeAnn Rimes in it. She was a country singer. She's still kind of a popular person.
Doesn't Taylor Swift love her?
I don't know. I don't know anything about Taylor Swift other than I don't particularly enjoy her as much as some people do.
That might not be LeAnn Rimes. It might have been someone else. I don't know people's names.
So LeAnn Rimes was in this magazine.
Yes.
And my best friend...
Is LeAnn Rimes? No, that's Shania Twain. Shania Twain is the one Taylor Swift likes. LeAnn Rimes, she released a single. I had it on a CD. It was
she had a few.
single.
Yeah, she
and
had...
that was the only one.
I live without
no,
you.
it's another one. It's something with a wolf or moonlight or something.
Can't Fight the Moonlight?
That's the one. That is
Yeah.
the one LeAnn Rimes song I know. Can't
Yeah.
Fight the Moonlight. I had the CD. It was one song. You just unlocked a memory, so I'm sorry for everyone who just had to hear that, but he said LeAnn Rimes, and my brain just spiraled into that, and now I know that's what it was. Anyway, so LeAnn Rimes.
So LeAnn Rimes was in this
magazine.
magazine. My best friend had a bit of a crush on her. That was like his little celebrity crush. So I remember I tore the pages out of the magazine because it was like the end of the week, and we were going to get a new one like that weekend.
Of course.
And so I tore the pages out, and I guess maybe my aunt hadn't read it. I don't know. But she was flipping through the magazine and was like, did somebody tear pages out here? And I did it like real smooth, too. Like you couldn't tell. I think there was an article missing, and then like she might have looked and saw like that it was kind of torn a little bit.
Do you remember when people read magazines regularly?
I would still read magazines. People do read magazines. It's just you don't. But
Oh.
I would.
Okay.
I lied, and I was
All
like,
right.
no, I don't know what happened to that. And she was like, are you sure? Like what happened? I'm like, I don't know. And I never like owned up to it or fessed up to it or anything. And I probably think about that moment once.
I feel like you should just call her tomorrow
Right now.
and just tell her.
Hey.
Like, I would love to know if she remembers that.
Well,
And
she
I
probably-
bet she knew. I bet she knew it was you.
She
But
definitely knew. That's why
it
she
wasn't a
questioned
big
me.
deal to her because it was just a magazine. But like, I think you should. I think we should follow up with this next week. You have to call your aunt.
Come clean.
You have to come clean to her.
Well, the thing
30
was,
years later.
she probably thought that I was like some little pervo, like puberty boy, like tearing.
I never want to
Rhymes.
hear those words out of your
Yeah,
mouth
yeah,
again.
me neither. But she probably thought I was tearing these out to like take and like hide in my room somewhere or
Right,
something.
'cause,
And I
you know,
wasn't. It
boys.
wasn't for me. It was for my buddy. Like it was for him. It's like, hey man, I got you this. You said you liked LeAnn Rimes, so I got this
But
magazine
that's
page.
such a cute kid thing to do.
I told you he's my best friend since like day one of
Pringles?
kindergarten.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. What? Can we give him a different nickname?
It's up to you, bud. That's how I
don't-
know him.
I was just gonna call him my bud. We didn't have to go the Pringles route, but anyway,
all right.
we So that was that. Maybe I'll finally come clean. It's been 25 years.
It's been
so.
30 years.
It's been 25. It was like 96, 97, 98 even maybe. So like 23 years probably.
It's been a long time.
It's been a hot minute, but I do remember I was in middle school. Is all I
Honesty
remember.
is important.
So
I don't think you'll get. No, actually, no. I know your aunt. You might still get in trouble for it.
I might still get in trouble, but it wasn't for me. I was doing a favor for a friend. He didn't ask me to do it. I was just doing it because
You were
I thought
being
it was
so
disposable.
thoughtful.
I was in that moment.
So thoughtful.
I was being thoughtful. Now thinking back, it's like it's kind of weird though that you did that. But I was
Kid
just-
brains, but
I was
that's
just
kind
being
of
a
the
bro.
whole thing, isn't it? Because kids don't think the same way we do.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, like, so for me, like, the growing up, anytime that I lied about anything, it was really an act of protection, right? I was trying to protect myself because, like, I lived in a dangerous household.
Yeah, it was self-preservation.
It was. It had to be. And I didn't know because I had a child's brain. I didn't know the difference between what my parents would consider a big thing or a small thing because sometimes small things were huge to them. It really depended on their moods. So I just kind of kept to myself and I lied and I hid things. And by the time I was a teenager, I was really good at it. And so I kind of moved from lying to hiding things. And again, this was all for me personally, self-preservation and safety. And it was like to the point that I remember in high school, I was struggling in a math class. And I mean, I was also heavily struggling with my mental health. And those two things went hand in hand, which in hindsight, I can
math
tell.
really kills my mental health too. I understand.
Well, no, I mean, because I was struggling in school because I was struggling with my mental health, right?
No, yeah, I get you.
And so those went hand in hand, but I couldn't talk to my family about it because if I tried, especially because, you know, we're talking 15 years ago, like we are still dealing with a mental health stigma, unfortunately, but 15 years ago, it was a lot worse, right? So we need to make more progress, but progress has fortunately been made for our kids now. But so 15 years ago, I'd tell my mom I'm depressed, I'm going through this, and she was mad at me for it. You know, that made her look bad. It made her look like a bad parent.
I'm failing as a parent.
Yes.
This is my fault. Is that what you're telling me?
Very,
that I'm not a good mom?
Right, very much. Oh, you are having mental health issues? I guess
This
I'm
is
the
my
victim
crisis.
here. Like, poor me that my kid is having trouble, you know. So
No, I understand that. That's
Yeah.
how my ex was when I would say, like, oh, you know, I'm not feeling really great. Why? Because I'm failing as a girlfriend? Well,
Right.
yeah, kind of, actually. But
well, I guess that's a different than bud. But so I remember this specifically because I got in a lot of trouble because I had missed a lot of school because of my mental health. My mom was mad about it, so I was trying to hide all that from her because she was always mad at me. And I was falling behind in my classes, and falling behind was affecting my mental health. And then I was struggling, and I couldn't do it. And then it became to that point. It came to a what is the word I'm looking for? It came to a head. It came to a head.
A climax.
Yes. I got like real into that story and then forgot that word and it just kind of fizzled. But anyway, I was just too overwhelmed to even try to catch up, and I just kind of gave up. And my mom worked in the elementary school, which I went to a K through 12 school. So like it was the same school, you know? And apparently that teacher called my mom, and my mom like showed up in the lunchroom and like threw a fit. Like I was mortified, you know? And she was mad at me because I lied to her and said all my work was done. But there was no way for me to tell her the truth that I was struggling. And so I ended up lying and saying I just didn't know that I was missing it. You know, it was grasping at straws, trying to find a lie that would keep my punishment minimum, because no matter what I said, I was in trouble, when the truth was I shouldn't have been in trouble. I should have been supported.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the kind of thing I have in mind personally when I think about our kids lying and whatever. And of course, it's not as extreme because our kids are growing up with a pretty cushy life.
Yeah,
and
they're
I'm glad we
Nerf
can
balls.
give it to them. But
Well, they do tell some lies sometimes.
but do you know why?
Hey, because they want to stay playing Roblox, and she
Good
says like,
morning,
"Oh, I
what
didn't
is
hear the
actually
timer."
something?
It's like,
I
"You
did
face
some
us,
research
stay
on
head
this
on.
the other
Let's
day.
go do that thing.
Which is that is a lie, but I did some research on this the other day. Did you know it's actually like lying isn't a bad behavior, right? It's human nature. And so I think when we think of kids lying, we're like, that's a bad behavior. Like, okay, Karen, look in the mirror. Did you not lie this week? Because we all lie for various reasons.
I'm in customer service. My job is to lie.
Sometimes it's white lies, sometimes it's bigger lies.
Hello,
sometimes it's
friends.
lying to
I am
protect
Tori
someone's feelings.
Phantom here with
But
my
we
husband,
all lie.
Jimothy.
I'm
Like
Jimothy.
House said it,
He
right?
is
Like,
Jimothy,
how
and we are
everybody
talking
lies.
to you
Everybody
on
lies.
the Phantom
And
Family
that's the truth.
Podcast.
It's
the Phantom
inherently
Family
bad.
Podcast.
That's a
You know,
podcast.
I think it's
By
really about
us,
our
the Phantom
intentions.
Family.
But I'm
In
a
your
pretty
ears.
honest person.
You're
I don't
listening.
lie often, and when I do, there's a
What if they're not
there's gonna
listening?
be a
What
good
if they're
reason for
talking
it.
over us?
Hey,
Like what?
hey, name
Listen,
one
Listen,
right now.
Christmas.
1, 2, 3, eyes
That's
on
not a
me
lie.
with the kids.
Ooh, that's a
That's
good one.
different.
I
Yeah,
feel
you
very
said it's a
threatened.
lie.
I
How
turned
are
around to
you-
look at you just then.
Are
You weren't
your-
even talking
Probably
to
going to
me.
be the
Are
next
your
topic.
listening
That's
ears
a
turned on?
surprise.
No.
Versus
I want to make an
secret
announcement
versus
to
a lie.
everyone
No,
listening to
that
this
one-
right
that
now,
one's a
because
little different.
I
Santa
can't
Claus is a
stop
little
thinking about this.
Anyway,
And I just
but
want
what I'm
everyone to
saying
know
here is everybody
that
lies, right?
there's a
And
pumpkin
so
sticker
it
on your
doesn't
back.
necessarily mean that it's
Why are
a
you telling
bad
people this?
thing,
Because
but
the
we
way
don't
that
want
we
it to become
record
a
this
problem,
is
right?
it's a
And
very
so it's
weird setup we
actually
have here
developmentally
because
appropriate
you know
for
that's you
kids
do
to
what you got to
start
do, right? But so
lying
I
by the
actually when
time
we
that
record
they
this,
are
I'm
toddlers.
looking at Jim's
And this
back,
is the
and
thing
there
that I
is a
kinda
very
consider with it, is that
sparkly
when a
jack o'
toddler
lantern
comes up to us
sticker
and tells us this
on your back,
outlandish story
and
that
I'm
they come up
that's
with
what I'm
in
going to
our
be looking at this
in
whole
their
episode, just
imagination,
so
we think
everyone
it's
knows.
adorable,
Thank you.
right?
This is
But if you
engaging,
look at it
riveting
in another
podcast material.
perspective,
Talking about a
that
sticker.
story they made
It
up
came
is
from one
a
of the
lie.
kids, so it's family related.
They
Obviously,
say,
yeah.
well,
I mean, it was
did
on the
this, and I
couch
did
somewhere,
that,
I'm
and then I
sure.
did
I'm sure
this.
there's
But
stickers
it's just a
everywhere.
There are
story. They're
stickers
telling you a silly
everywhere,
story. They're
all over
lying.
everything.
That's
in
what's
my
funny
house.
about it
Every
is the kids
author
love
is a
sticking
liar.
stickers
I'm looking
on
at you,
things,
R.L.
but they
Stein.
get
But if we're
real
thinking
mad
developmentally
when
wise,
I put
right?
googly eyes on but also
yes,
baby
authors are
pictures.
lying.
Yeah, it's really
But, like,
weird.
It's like
because-
weird because they put
I'm not
stickers
saying,
all
like,
over
tell
my
them a story
stuff, but
about
I put
something when
googly
a
eyes on the
child comes
pictures
up to
of
you and is like,
them.
Which
well,
is
I did
hilarious.
this, and I
It's
did
so
that,
funny,
you know
and
they're
they're like,
not
"Why
telling
did
the
you
truth,
do
they're
that?"
telling
And I'm
us a
like,
story. That's
"I'm
a lie.
laughing.
Yeah.
That's
But
why
it's
it's
cute.
funny."
But then
I
the
was
second
telling-
that they like
I was
lie
telling
because
someone
they
at the
did something
radio
wrong, you're like,
recently
"Oh, how
how
dare you do that?"
did
right?
that on the
And so
pictures of the two
when our
older
kids
girls
lie,
that's in the
my
hallway
goal
over
is to
there.
figure out why.
And I forget about it all the
Why the
time, and
lie?
I'll catch myself like going to the bathroom, and I'll see the googly
Because-
eyes, and I'll just
okay,
giggle
so
as I
I've
walk
broken
down
it
the
down.
hall.
That's the whole
This is my
reason
thoughts
I
on
did
it.
it. Like,
There
I
are a
highly
few
recommend if
reasons
you are a
each
parent,
child
you
might
don't
lie.
need to do it
Let's
to
get
every
it.
picture in your house.
Okay,
Just pick
so
one picture of your kids
one
you
of
have
the
hung up,
reasons that they might
and you're
lie
going to put
is
it on the
because they
glass
are
on the
afraid of
frame.
their
You
Yeah,
know,
don't ruin the
you don't want to
sticker.
ruin the
Don't ruin the
picture,
picture.
which might be
anger.
but you're just
I
going
don't
to take
want-
some
I don't
googly
want my
eyes. You're going
parents
to
to be
glue
mad at
them
me. I don't
to
wanna
the
get in
glass,
trouble.
okay? Because what's
Or
going to happen
I
is you're
don't
busy
want
and
to
you don't
make my
often think
parents
about the
sad.
pictures on your
If they
walls.
knew that this
So it's just
happened,
going to slip your
they might
mind,
be
right? Like,
sad,
you know
so I'm
you
just
did it,
gonna
but you're
hide
going
it.
to
I'm gonna
forget.
tell them I
And
don't know what
every
happened
now and
because I
then
don't
that
want them to
picture's
be
going to
sad.
catch your eyes, and you're
Right?
going to see
Well,
those googly
I-
eyes,
So
and
there's
it's
one
going to give
hit
you a
the
laugh
land
just when you
rights
need it.
because I didn't want to get in trouble because
I have it on
someone
one
would be mad at
picture
me,
in
so
our
I
house.
was like, I don't know, maybe they
And
just didn't send
every
it with the
time that I
magazine.
notice
Right, and
it,
so that
I
fear
laugh.
of reaction,
And it's
and
good
I mean,
for
in
my
our
mental
house,
health.
like, our
So
kids really
googly
don't
eyes
get
your
in,
babies,
like,
not like in
what
person though. That
most
they probably wouldn't like that. Trouble, but the pictures of them, like absolutely, there's no rule saying you can't do that.
Although we did put the big googly eyes on the middle one. I I don't remember what the nickname
honestly,
you've given her
and
this
so
time
our
is.
kids are not afraid of
on
getting in
old
trouble.
SG,
but what
you
I've
put
learned
the
is
googly
when
eyes on
well,
her,
I
and
didn't
that
put
made
them
me
on her.
laugh.
She thought that was
very
funny,
much
so we
that
did
it's
that
a
together.
protective
That was a
eye.
joint
It-
effort.
it-
She
yeah.
had big
Story
googly
on
eyes,
TikTok
and
the
she
other
squeezed
day
her little eyeballs
about our
around them, and
5-year-old.
then
I went,
she
we
had
bought
googly
groceries,
eyes,
and I got some
and we took
avocados,
pictures
and so
and
I do this
videos
thing
and
where I
laughed
bring
a
the
lot.
groceries.
It was
but, like,
hilarious.
I
It
already
was so
went and
funny.
bought
You
the
know what
groceries.
else
I paid for the
is-
groceries.
Just invest in
the groceries
googly
in the car,
eyes.
put the groceries
You know
in
what
the
else
house,
is fun to put
and
those
then I
on?
put the
What?
cold stuff away.
Inanimate
and then
objects
I'm,
in the
like,
house,
bored
too.
and
Put
I
the
go do
googly
something
eyes
else,
on
like,
your
I get
toaster.
distracted, you know?
Yes, I've
And
done
so
that too.
avocados
Every now
were
and then
left
I
on
just
the
get a
floor
little
in the
googly.
bags. But it must have rolled out
Great
because I
googly
went back
moogly.
down.
No,
and, like,
silly
took a,
googly mood.
10-minute
But
break. I
seriously,
come back
you're
down to the
just a silly
kitchen.
googly mood.
And there's a
Seriously,
like half
buy
smashed
googly
avocado
eyes,
on the counter.
put them on
And I
random
look at
things
it
in
and
your
I
house, put
immediately knew it
them
was Girly
by
Girl,
the
right?
electrical
Because, like, it
sockets,
had been
make
pumpkin pie,
everything
she
just
was
look
Don't no.
surprised.
Actually, I'm gonna
Mom,
say
like,
don't
this is
do
mine.
How did
the
you say she put them
electrical
in?
sockets.
No, she
because
would have been
if
sad
you
about
have
it. She
kids,
wouldn't have been
like
next
young
to touch
kids
the
probably
floor.
don't do that because you don't
I
want to
would have
attract
attract
your
your
kids to
kids.
electrical
And if it had
Okay,
been Beanie
fine.
Baby,
You
she
know
would
what?
have painted with the avocado.
Like
on
that's
win
the
that
one
one.
with like
developmental
with our
ability.
9-year-old,
But-
she wouldn't
but our
touch the
5-year-old
outlet.
put it
She
on
would
the
laugh
counter.
at that, but with the
So she made a
3-year-old,
mess and she cleaned
she
up.
would
Like,
be more interested in
that's
the
a big
outlet,
true.
right?
That's a
She
big
just
good
mainly
win,
ignores
right?
them because she's 3.
But I asked
But
her
if I
about it,
put
and I said,
googly
"Why
eyes
don't
on
you
the
tell me that
outlet,
this
she
happened, you know?"
would want to touch it.
And
So
she's
I
like, "Why
don't
you
put
be
googly
sad?
eyes
Because I
on
knew
your
you loved
outlet. There's an
avocados."
age limit there.
If
I
you
don't
have
know what
young
it
kids.
is.
I don't really know
But
what
be
to do
be
with
safe
know
with your
your
googly
kids.
eyes. Yeah,
And I see that
we're
I made a
gonna be
mess,
careful
so I
with the
did pick up
googly
the
eyes.
mess.
This is
I
a
didn't
this
tell you
episode
'cause
is
I don't
about
want you to be
googly eye
sad.
safety.
This is
And
a
when I
googly eye
asked her about
safety
it initially,
podcast.
she
We are
wouldn't
abandoning
answer me.
parenting.
Like,
We're
she was
only
trying to
going to be
hide it.
speaking
And it
in
wasn't that she was
it's
afraid to get in
OSHA
trouble. She was afraid
adjacent.
she
It's
could
not
be sad
really
'cause she knew I
related to
loved
OSHA.
avocados.
It's a different department.
parenting related.
And
I
I
don't
told her,
know.
you know, I
that
thanked
many.
her because I want to
I mean,
encourage
honestly, I don't want to
honesty,
say
and
that because
told her,
I don't know a
you're
lot
not
of
gonna
people
get
who
in
aren't
trouble for
parents.
it.
So maybe
I said,
non-parents
like,
also have a
I
lot
should
of
have
googly
picked up
eyes.
the
Like, who am
avocado.
I
Like,
to
if
make
I
that
didn't want the
assumption?
avocado to
They
get stepped
might.
on, I
They
should have
might.
put away on my
There are
groceries.
probably
If
people
you
out there with just
have-
an
So,
overabundance of
like,
googly
that's
eyes.
my
If
fault
you
too.
have
a whole bunch of
Also,
googly eyes
thank
in
you
your
for
house, like I
picking it
do,
up
please
instead of
DM
letting
me
it sit
on
on the floor to
Instagram,
get stepped on more.
and
Also,
let me know
please
where
tell
you put
me when
yours
things
because I
happen
know I'm
right
not the
away,
only one who
because a lot
does
of
this.
times I
But I
can
just
offer
need
a
to take a
fix
poll.
or a
Like if you
solution
put
or help
googly
you.
eyes all over all the
And
things,
in this case,
just
because
tell
this
me about
avocado
that.
was
No,
recently
even
stepped
better.
on,
Make
I
a video
can
on
still eat it.
TikTok. Tag
Had
us
it
on
sat
there.
out for that
You
too.
know, another
Whatever
hour.
feels best for you, honestly.
Yeah.
Some
Some
people
people
don't like to make videos.
Yeah,
That's
but
cool.
some people
got
don't.
avocado
Some people
toast a
don't
lot
like to
sooner than
read
you
books.
planned on
Right.
it.
Some
And
people
that's
like to
honestly, that's what I
listen
made
to books
immediately,
being
and it was
read
just
to
seasoned with a
them.
little bit
That
of baby
is
foot,
true.
like,
And did
whatever.
you know that there's like a
Um,
whole service, like, and
delicacy.
we have
Yeah,
a link
like, she
that can
just, like,
help them get a month of that.
smash the
for free.
Yeah,
avocado
they can
for
hear
my
these
sandwich.
books
It's not a big
read
deal.
audibly to them through Amazon's
But that's
Audible.
a thing
Yep.
that
See what I
I've
did
noticed.
there?
That's
See
that's
that?
one
Catch
of those.
that?
You know,
That was
the
great.
You
kids
picking up what I'm
are
throwing down?
afraid
Very
of
smooth.
our
And what does that
reactions,
link to,
right?
you think?
Well, if you go to
Another thing is they could just be
audibletrial.com/phantom,
storytelling or
you can
telling
get a
that story
free
because they
month
made a
of
mistake
Amazon's
and
Audible
they
service.
feel
It's normally
bad about it, and so
$14.95, but if you're a
perhaps the
brand
way
new
that their brain
subscriber,
is in
never signed up
development,
for
they're
it
like,
before,
well,
you can
if
get
I
a free
tell a
month
different
using
story,
our
maybe I can
code. That's
change
going to
what
give you
happened.
a
Maybe this
free
will- I can
book. You'll get a
change
credit
what
for
happened.
any
What
book
happened.
and all
You know,
of
and-
Audible.
and
And even if
so
you,
it is- it
you know,
is
let
just
your
kinda
subscription
nature for
lapse or you
kids to do
cancel
that.
it,
And
that
so
book is
I
yours
think the
forever.
goal is to
Every
never
book
turn them
you
away from it
pay
because
for
we
with
do
your
want our kids to be
subscription and you
honest
get
with
your
us, like,
credits
that's
for
important for their
every
safety.
month, you get to keep that book in
And
your
you do-
Audible
you do
account
get a
forever.
free credit for a
foundation
book
of
every
communication
single
and
month that
trust.
you are a member.
Well, you
So,
do. I mean, you
like,
pay
sure,
for
my
it, so
kids are little,
you
but
get a
eventually they're
credits
gonna be
for it.
older
I
and
don't-
making
It's weird calling
mistakes
it
that might
free. I don't
be
want people to think
more
like, oh,
detrimental.
free.
Right,
No.
you're right. You pay
But-
part of the subscription, but you get
It's
a
about
credit for a
building
book with
the
your
trust.
monthly
You do get a
Built-in
credit it. It's $14.95. You get a credit for one download every month. Foundation, and your walls. You do get an extra free credit on top of that, so you get 2 book credits.
It's simple. I just waterboard them until I get to
you do get all that. So again, check that out. That is at www.audibletrial.com/for your free month of Audible.
The jack-o'-lantern sticker still.
The jack-o'-lantern doesn't matter. The eyebrows don't matter.
Eyebrows look like they're up.
I don't. Honestly, I usually do the same thing like you say. Like, hey, listen, tell me the truth. You're not in trouble. And the thing is, I follow through with that, though.
That is the follow-through. If you say you're not going to get in trouble, they can't get in trouble, or else they're not going to trust you.
It's like, thank you for telling me. I said, I wish you had told me sooner without me having to ask you, but thank you for telling me the truth. That's typically how I approach it. Like, I don't get mad at the kids for things. I get mad and I yell at a lot of things, like when I'm playing Rocket League. Yep. Stuff like that. When I'm changing guitar strings. Mm-hmm. When I am trying to talk to a pharmacy and I get the robot, I wouldn't dare talk to a human.
So mad at robo voices.
I would never talk to a human with such disdain and just look down upon this, whatever that word is, as I do the robot voices with the things. I'm just yelling expletives like, give me a representative.
And then it doesn't understand because he's so angry.
Because I'm so
the other
angry.
time Jim gets angry is if he's walking through a room and there's something on the floor and he steps on it. And like we live in a house with 3 young kids, so there's always something on the floor. So that causes Jim some stress.
I have very tender bottoms of my feet.
Very
and
tender
I
footsoles.
don't like stepping on things. I don't walk outside without shoes.
Yeah.
I've never liked it. I remember growing up, my aunt would always walk in the gravel outside and she wouldn't wear shoes. I would always have to wear shoes. Like she'd be barefoot on gravel. And I remember thinking like, what is wrong with you? This is terrible. And I still, to this day, I can't do it.
Yeah. Squirrely Girl
that's
does.
the truth.
Squirrely Girl walks on gravel without shoes on. And I'm like, I bought you brand new shoes and they're really cool. And she's like, I don't like the shoes.
I know.
I'm just going to do this anyway. Okay, do your thing, girl. But that's honestly, I think, the biggest thing. If you want your kids to be honest to you, if you use the term, you will not be in trouble if you tell me the truth to get the truth out of them.
If you take a plea deal, you have to follow through.
You have to follow through because, like, you are risking your kids' trust in you. And that's kind of the way that, like, we run our house is that our kids don't have to earn our trust. They're born with it. And we are building the communication so that we can maintain it. So I trust my kids. Like, if I say, did you do this on purpose? And they say no, I believe them because you know what? Sometimes I say, did you do that on purpose? And they say, I did.
Yes.
I did. And
Well,
I say,
why did you do that?
And I say, why? Because most things can be solved with a conversation, you know? And sometimes we have to take pause before we have that conversation. But if we really want to teach our kids, isn't communicating the best way to do it? And so that's kind of the whole thing that I do is if I catch my kid in a lie, whether it's big or small, my thing is always like, why? You know? And then we talk about why it's important to be honest. And that's an issue we've had with our 9-year-old. If she gets stuck in school, she's very similar to the way I was because she's so used to things being really easy for her that the second she struggles, she doesn't know how to ask for help because she's never had to do it. And she's a little bit socially anxious and she's like, I don't want to have to ask. And so we have to have these conversations like, well, you can't just avoid it and lie about it because that's not okay because this is your responsibility. So it's like once we find out the reason for the lie, sometimes that's a really quick conversation and sometimes that's layers of conversations because, okay, you lied about this thing because of this and that's a whole different feeling. So like, let's unpack that. Okay. And that's attached to that. Okay. Let's unpack that. And it's digging and it's getting your kid to self-reflect on their own feelings to figure out how we got to this point and how we can do better next time. Yeah. And honestly, it works pretty well. Like our 9-year-old is an incredibly honest kid. She very rarely lies. And our 5-year-old is kind of going through that lying phase that little ones do. And we're working on it. And she is gaining, like, our kids, I feel like they have to earn our trust more than we have to, or we have to earn their trust more than they have to earn our trust, right? Because they're born to, and they adore us. Like, we're their heroes. We're their parents. Like, there's so much power there. And I never want to abuse that. I never want to abuse the power of being a parent. And so I always try to like humanize myself to my kids. Like, yes, I'm your parent and I have the authority, but I respect you and I want them to trust me. And so that's why I answer every question why. And that's why I want to talk to them about everything and really show them, like, I said, you're not going to get in trouble and you're not in trouble. You told me what happened. Like, let's talk about it. Like, let's fix it so we can avoid it.
So that we don't have to have this conversation again.
And then we do the whole thing. I discuss integrity. My kids hear the word integrity
a lot.
So much. Like, my kids know the definition for integrity because I like to use normal human language with my small children, and I will cut myself off and be like, do you know what that word means? And if they don't, I define it. And
what's your definition of integrity?
We do the right thing because it's the right thing to do even when no one is watching.
Yes. All right. That's the same exact thing I
had. And so my kids know that includes truth telling. But the other thing with honesty is it's not just about our kids lying. It's about the way that they trust us with things that are wrong can be a huge safety implication for them. And what I mean by that is that if they feel like they have to hide things from us, they might feel more likely to want to or trust someone else when they say, don't tell your parents.
Yeah.
Because if our kids feel like, okay, I can't tell my parents if I did X, Y, Z, I messed up, I made a mistake, I'm going to hide it, try to fix it myself. I can't tell my parents because I might get in trouble. Well, if some tragic situation happens where they need to tell us something, they might not feel safe doing that either. And so, like, that's one of the things we tell our kids as well is that there's a difference between a secret and a surprise.
Yeah.
And they should never lie to us. So if an adult, like, this is one of the biggest safety things. We'll have to do an episode on safety with kids.
Yeah, we got to do one. Can I just briefly segue into one thing about stranger danger?
Yes.
Do you remember the time that Pumpkin Pie, you asked her, oh, what do you do if someone comes up and says, oh, hey, I'm your mom's friend, come get in the car with me? And what did you say?
I said, well, you know who my friends are, right? If someone said to you, I'm your mom's friend, well, you would know because you know who my friends are. And she goes, I do? I said, yeah.
Yes. And then you described these people, and she goes, you only have 3 friends?
Yeah, she was really shocked by that because she's friends with everyone she meets. And I was like, yeah.
Just roasted.
Yeah, it's fun having kids because they will roast you on
brutal
your whole
honesty.
existence. Yeah, it's fun.
But anyway.
It's a fun time.
Back to you.
But so that's kind of the thing, though, is that we always tell our kids that no adult should ever ask them to keep a secret from us. Because if a grown-up says to you, don't tell your mom, that means tell me immediately.
And our oldest
That's a red flag.
She is so good about doing that
Yes.
literally I've been in the same room as you guys, and I've had like Reese's Cups or something, and I will give her one and be like, here, don't tell your mom because I don't want to share. And she'll immediately be like, we have Reese's over here. And it's like, bro. And it's like, well, you always said if someone says don't tell mom to tell you immediately. I'm like, this is different.
But part of that is also defining the difference between a secret and a surprise.
Yeah.
Because a surprise is a secret that has an end date and a happy ending, right? Like a surprise party or a birthday present, like that's only a secret temporarily, and we are planning something to do something nice for someone. But a secret is kind of like, this feels kind of icky. Like if someone's asking you to keep a secret, like probably tell me.
Probably.
So that's just a really important thing for us is that like, I'm not as concerned about like little white lies, right? Because everyone lies. Like everyone lies about something all the time. And
I've lied about a bunch of things during this podcast.
You've lied about things at work, probably. I mean, like
I told you I'm in customer service. That's my job. I lie constantly. How do you think I got the job?
Yeah, I mean, and I'm probably like a really honest person because I get uncomfy lying. Like I get really anxious about it, but it doesn't bother me when our kids tell little lies. Like I'm still encouraging the honesty, but my concern is to build that foundation of trust and communication. And then we have kids who aren't lying to us often, and the lies they tell are little white lies that we can see through.
They're like little baby lies.
They're little baby lies that are kind of adorable and sarcastic. That's, I think, the biggest lie I get told by my 9-year-old is it's always sarcastic, and I'm like, don't do this, and she's like, I'm not doing that, while she's very blatantly doing it in my face to be funny.
Clearly doing
it. And that's what I prefer because I just want trust. And trust doesn't mean that someone is 100% genuinely honest 100% of the time, because that's not what humanity is. And if you want to tell me that you don't lie, I'm going to call you a liar.
Well, I'm going to call you a liar.
Like lying doesn't inherently mean that you're a bad person or have malicious intent. It just means that you're human and you have a human nature. So my goal is to just have my kids feel comfortable telling me when they make mistakes. And that requires a lot of work on my part because kids want to naturally hide things because everyone wants to hide their mistakes, right? Like I don't want people to know like that I mess things up and I make mistakes all the time. And so with kids, of course, it's their natural thing. Oh, well, I made a mess. I did whatever. I broke it. I'm going to hide it because I'm ashamed of it. Well, I don't want you to hide it. I want to be here to help you. And so it's building that trust for them. Like I want them to trust me with their mistakes. They don't have to lie to me. And it's going pretty well.
So far.
It's going pretty well.
They're babies right now, though. Wait till they're teenagers.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves is when people say to me, you know that.
Pet peeves or fears?
No, I'm not afraid of their teenage years, honestly.
I'm afraid because we will have 3 teenage girls simultaneously. And
it'll be fine.
Just having even 3 teenagers, period. Boys, girls, whatever. Just having that level of...
I'm only afraid of the pink tax, honestly. That's all I'm afraid of. But honestly...
That's why we'll just buy the men's Gillette stuff.
That's not what I'm talking about, Jim. There's other things that...
Oh, like the ladies' deodorant and how like the men's degree does just as well and it also smells good. I understand. I feel you.
I'm talking about tampons.
Why are you talking about tampons?
Oh my gosh.
I don't need tampons. How's that? There's not even a men's version of those.
Oh my goodness. So anyway,
It's
that is
2021.
people often say this to me because I talk about this kind of open communication with my kids, and we do have a great open communication. My kids do not often lie to me, and they are young enough that if they do lie to me, I know it immediately because little kids are really bad liars.
They're bad liars.
But because I always know when they lie, I can call them on it without being rude or mean, and they can feel safe telling me the truth. And I feel like, I mean, obviously I don't have any proof in the pudding here. Like, I only have what I've been through for the exact opposite of what I want with my kids. But I believe that building this foundation of trust and communication is only going to benefit us in their teenage years. And I might be wrong. I mean, I'm sure they're still going to hide things because, like, they're going to want more privacy than they do now. Yeah. And I'm going to respect that. But my hope is that when they're older, if they end up in trouble or making mistakes, that they're not going to feel like they can't tell me.
Yes.
That is so important to me. And so when people say, oh, you have this relationship with them now, wait till they're teenagers. Yes, I know how aging works. I know they're going to be teenagers someday, but they're not right now. I have 3 little kids. Let them be kids and let me parent my little kids. And if it doesn't go right, like, I'm going to have to adjust and evaluate then. But I don't plan on parenting my kids as teenagers the same way I do now. That would be really weird if I treated a 16-year-old the same way I treat a 3-year-old. That would be really weird. I don't plan on doing that. So,
although, well, I mean, you could treat them the same. Like, you're not going out tonight. You're not going out with your friends.
Yeah, it's true. I don't let Beanie Baby go out with her friends.
No, she's not going to go roaming the streets.
Right. Yeah. So,
although she would probably like to.
She would. She loves taking walks.
She loves taking walks. She
loves taking walks. But either way, yeah. I mean, like, lying, I don't want to encourage lying. I want to encourage honesty and communication and trust. But I also understand that, like, lying is human nature. So, like, it is what it is. And I'm just going to call my kids on it. Like, I call them out on it. I don't let them lie, but I don't want them to feel bad for making mistakes. So
liar, liar, plants for hire.
Liar, liar, plants for hire. So how do you handle lying, friends? Let us know. Let us know how you handle lying with your kids, what you think. Because, I mean, we don't deal with a lot of lying, honestly. Like, the lying in our house is such minimal things.
Yeah, or it's
avocado smashing.
She
just pre-made guacamole.
Yeah, it's starting the guacamole inside the peel.
Yeah.
It's organic, all natural. It's I guess organic. I was gonna say what would you get at Whole Foods? It's pre-made guacamole inside the peel. There's got to be some kind of French word for that, like à la pelle.
Right.
I don't speak French, so that's terrible, but that's what we do. So let us know how you handle it. We'll be posting some links to the social medias where you can follow up and just have a discussion.
Yeah. And speaking of social media, come hang out with us. I'm on TikTok, Tori Phantom, Tori.Phantom on Instagram. I'm Tori Phantom on Twitter, where every once in a while I do tweet something. I'm on YouTube and Facebook. You know how to find me. Besties, you can find me. I want to hear from you.
I'm Jim Beard on TikTok. I am Jimmy Nips on Instagram. Jimothy Strange also on Instagram. I haven't been very socially active on really any of the accounts lately, other than maybe a couple of TikToks here and there. But that's really about it if you want to follow me. So we are here, and you know what? Do you see their eyes, Tori?
They look really tired.
They're looking a little tired.
Drink some water, besties.
Have some water. We're going to put you to bed.
Yeah, then we're going to drink some water and go to bed.
It's been a big day. I know you've had fun.
Which blanket do you want tonight?
I know you're sleepy. You know what? I know when you're lying, you are sleepy.
Yeah, don't tell me you're hungry. I know you're just trying to stay out of bed.
Come on now. All right.
Come on.
All right, we're going to tuck you in. I've got the fan on. All right, I love you. I love you.